Right. And then let's not even factor in the last 2 years of what was going on with the global scamdemic.
Hey, I feel like the pandemic though, for me, it was probably one of the best shit in my life. Now,
Peace and blessings, family. You showing up.
Peace and infinite blessings.
Slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely.
Exactly. Yes, it is.
Hey, nice to meet you. What's up?
She's the show.
Okay.
How you doing?
I gotta listen to some Jay Shetty podcast episodes. So his birthday was just yesterday.
How you doing? I'm good. I'm good.
He's now 69 and 12.
Yo. Needs attention. Attention. Mike, check. That mic over there is just stronger. This is just stronger. Y'all talk?
Yes, sir. Check 1, mic 2, 1, 2. Yeah, that's what you call that correct way of
The fan is a lot of noise. Lamar, you should actually look at the settings on that mic right there and find out if
noise
settings would be better.
Noise reduction's having?
Slam.
Yeah.
I got everyone's outlines right here.
We're already live, so I believe. Oh yeah, there we go.
Everyone, excuse me. Thank you. Excuse me.
Live on Twitter. Somebody want to check Instagram?
Here's one for you. I give you yours.
Instagram?
You can just share this.
You want to check Instagram? Instagram? Okay. Mike.
Come on, Precious. You can get my lap.
Yeah.
That's you trying to act?
Come on.
Yep, you're live on Instagram.
Huh?
You live on Instagram.
You live on Instagram? Wow. Okay.
Wonderful. Is that Kai that is showing?
Yeah. Wow.
Let's see here.
So yeah, it is live on Instagram as well. So I'm going to go ahead and start saying Instagram.
So we are live on Instagram?
Yes, sir.
Live.
So I'm just getting this hit the raw real quick.
Also live on YouTube.
Great.
Just started.
Somebody want to send a message and see? So I can see if we're showing up. Okay, so on Facebook Live, we cannot respond to messages, but if you send a message, we'll respond some type of way. How are we going to do that? I like when we respond verbally.
If we can't get all your questions, then we're just going to put the same type form from before. So we didn't really get any responses from that because not really too many people showed up. But we'll put the type form in the comments so that you can pull it up and then just fill it out.
Oh yeah, every time the type form will go in the chat.
And
but
then
Go ahead, baby.
Okay. And then when you fill it out, when you submit it, it'll come through on our email. So we'll be able to get to your questions on the next session if we can't get to it in the current one.
As well.
Okay. So are we live on all channels now?
I believe so.
Because I know we are on YouTube because I'm in it right
I'm
now.
on Twitter.
Might as well be that.
Okay. So yeah, I'm where I need to be.
I'm where I need to be.
Same.
I've got what I need.
And we have a little lag, so if anyone's putting questions or chatting, please give us a little bit to respond. I believe there's a little lag there. And I need to update the caption because this is session 4, not 3. So I'm going to update that right now. Okay. So as a result, peace, love, and eternal power to everyone. Willfully, if you show up on the live, we'll be blessed to have you, grateful to have you. But if not, on the return, you know what I'm saying?
We're basically blessed to have you
yes,
in any way that you show up.
Right,
so.
on the replay, we want to thank you for like and share if you like what we have to offer. Same thing on the live. And so because we didn't get too many responses via the type form, which is going to go up every time we do live. So if someone comes after the fact, still don't hesitate to do it because even though it's not live, we're still checking the type form. The type form is coming directly to the email. So if you would please check us out, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe if you like what we're doing. We would greatly appreciate it. But like I was saying, as a result of not getting the type form, we came up with some subject matters in which we feel that would be best to communicate about it, since they're going to pretty much ask me questions and we're going to just elaborate on a few things on both sides, from the parental side as well as the child and parent side of the relationship. Between the child and the parent, but the child side and the parent side. So I think what the host will be today, I think, Amina, are you going to pretty much lead the thing?
Yes, sir. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Today, the subject is trust and respect between parents and youth. And I think that's very important today, especially because you already see our relationship is filled with trust and respect. Like, we have respect for him, we have trust for him, he has trust and respect for us, and we appreciate that. But there are a lot of teens and parents out there that don't really trust each other, they don't really respect each other, they're always at odds, butting heads with one another, and then they question why nothing's really working out the way that it is. And so, if you have any questions based upon that, we have basically the most common questions asked in terms of trust and relationship between parents and children. So, if one of the questions that we're answering is one of the questions that you have, then you will get your answer. So, first, we're going to go to introduction to parent-child relationships, basically get a better understanding of what it is and what it actually means. So my first question, Coach King Malik, is what makes a parent-child relationship different from all other forms of relationships?
In my most humble opinion, that would be the fact that it's the most important relationship other than the one with yourself. It's like you have to get the one with yourself right first, and then you can have a relationship with anybody else but your child especially. So what the difference is, could you rephrase the question again? Just ask the question.
Yes, sir. What makes a parent-child relationship different from every other form of relationship, like a relationship with a colleague, a relationship with...
The influence. The influence, definitely. The responsibility, because as a parent, you have a different responsibility as a friend or of the nature. Sorry, quiet. Excuse me. Anything of the nature. And so, that's what makes it a difference. Like I'm saying, that's why it's the most important other than the one that you have with yourself. And then, that's my most humble opinion about that.
Yes, sir. Okay, so to you, in your own words, what defines a strong parent-child relationship?
Oh my goodness. In my own words, what describes or defines a strong parent-child relationship?
Well, I can tell you one thing. What we already have.
And that is a strong relationship with self. You know what I'm saying? And a strong trust in yourself, knowing that when your intentions are correct and in place, then you'll be just fine. Because the overall, intention about parenting is to turn out a good child. Basically, give a human being the respect and understanding that they can be and do what they choose to, and have a very clear, aspect of who they are and what powers they have in terms of being here in this structure, and just a better understanding of what is, So,
One of the things I always thought defined a strong parent-child relationship is the fact of sharing between the two. Basically, you know how you always share new information with us that guides us in a better direction?
Yeah.
Pretty much like that.
I share everything that I get because I know that what I've learned over time is that the more I share with you all, especially knowing that it resonates with my intuition, it's for you all in the first place to be able to carry it further than I can possibly do. And all information that I get, and then another thing that I've learned, the more I teach you all, the more you all teach me, and I know that's as a result of me giving you the right information.
Yes.
And being in the right balance and things of respect in that balance, because that's a big deal. Like attempting to influence or get someone to do something you want them to do, but you're out of bounds and out of balance, and you're going to see the fruit of your labor by the energy that you get in response. So if you're kind of awkward and attempting to get somebody else to do something that's not, they're probably going to respond from your awkward energy. They're probably going to be a response to your awkward energy, and you're going to see that. I've seen it for myself.
One thing I know for sure defines a strong parent-child relationship is the child's and the parent's will, effort, and intention to be able to work together to see what they can do as a team to make each other's relationship better going forward.
There's trust.
And not just a one-sided thing.
Yeah, it's trust. The biggest deal is trust. Trust and respect between parents and the youth. Yes. Trust. The biggest thing, the foundation is trust. But you have to trust yourself first as a parent, as a human being, in order to even be an influence. Because, I'm going to tell you something. Y'all can verify this, but I could look at you all and see, when you believe me or feel what I'm saying or not.
Yes.
And that's the same thing as trust to me. Like, if I'm looking at you telling you something, you looking at me sideways, I feel like you either don't believe me, you're not listening to me, or you don't trust what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So that's same thing, trust. So when you get to the point where, you're being totally honest and balanced with people, and you start to share anything and you're being honest, you're going to get the right thing. I don't have a problem with sharing with y'all because I know I want to learn until I transition. I want to learn until I make my transition. I want it to be a learning experience even then, which I know it will, but I want to receive it as such.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, that's good. Thank you for that.
I appreciate you.
I really appreciate y'all.
Parents don't even have the ability to consider.
I wouldn't be able to even answer these questions this way if it weren't for you all, especially the contrast that you all have given me and made me realize that the reason we chose each other before we came into this physical reality was for the process of trust and being loyal to one another, and then showing the world that we could do that.
Yes.
Somebody can do it in a big way, you know what I'm saying? Because, it's just what it is. And I'm not, saying it, what do they say, boastfully or anything. I'm saying it confidently because I really feel and I really know for myself what the intention was when your mother and I started co-creating this family. We just didn't have an idea that it was going to go to the height it's gone, and we're grateful.
Yes,
we're infinitely and eternally grateful for the way things are turning out, because I see the vision that I saw, it's expanded so tremendously, So, but I know that's the trust and that's the respect that I have for y'all too, because it's a two-way street. I've had to trust you all and take it back and realize, okay, man, I gotta trust them. And then realizing that it's my job to trust you so that you will trust me. Eventually, you're gonna realize. If you don't realize it now, you're gonna realize. That's the same thing. I just want to share something. I was looking at this thing about T.I. T.I. is, like family because of Los, like us all being tied in together and everything. You know what I mean? And his son went to jail, and he's been having, I guess, some parental issues with his son. And he was just saying, it's nothing he can do about it. He's been telling his son the whole time, like I tell you all, it's the energy from what you do, you will receive. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it doesn't matter, y'all know I had some really, really, really serious shit going on. That's the reason why I want to make sure that you all know balance.
Yes.
Because if you turn up to what, chill. If you turn up to what I have done, then that's going to be a problem. Come here, son. Come here. That's going to be a problem. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be a major problem, and I don't need that. I don't need that issue for none of you all, for none of us. This will be an issue.
Yes.
You know, so thank you.
Thank you, sir. You're very welcome.
Thank you. You're always welcome. Always welcome.
It's just our younger brother doing a bit extra.
Huh?
Youngest.
Yeah, youngest.
That wasn't me passing gas. That was the chair.
Yeah, that chair plays tricks.
Yeah,
on you.
it does. It does put you
That
on
chair
blast.
and the other 3 chairs that you got like me.
Oh yeah,
they
definitely.
put you on blast, and it's crazy because they all do the same thing. Yeah. But okay, what's next? Let's
Okay,
go.
so what would you say are the benefits of having a robust parent-child relationship?
The benefits are the success that the child will have after the fact to me, because the initial relationship, just like it is right now, I realize even in my now time, in my 50s, I'm still dealing with, childhood issues that I've had to learn to, get above and, figure out on a different level. You know what I'm saying? It's like we bring that childhood stuff over to our grown life for real. And a lot of us are dealing with some stuff we wouldn't even imagine that it was tied to our childhood. But, when I started being a hypnotist, when I started doing hypnotherapy and learned how to do myself first, I realized that I pulled a lot of those childhood traumas out of my experience, and realized, wow, that's the reason why I had hang-ups. And I feel like if you haven't done, something to dig into your inner self, you should do so. I mean, you should really do so. You should find out, what, even if it's not being hypnotized, it's something. There's so many different things. It's NLP, it's hypnotism, it's, frequencies do it. Like, you can just meditate. You can get into a certain vibration of meditation. There's certain vibes of everything. You can get to what the core of the issue is if you really open yourself up to want to know and can accept it. And a lot of y'all know what it is. A lot of us know what it is and just don't want to accept it.
Yes,
That's the problem with me. Like, I had a lot of things going on and I just didn't want to accept it. The minute I came to the table and came clean with myself, then, hey man, I feel all the way live. I feel like it's nothing, that's an issue now. I have that part pretty much handled.
Yes, sir.
And that's a great thing, because most parents actually can't really say that.
Well,
They
I know
want
when I'm
to.
coaching parents and we talking and I ask them these primary questions, you're right. It's a large percentage of them that can't say that. They say things that are not even similar to the T, but just a roundabout. Like, it's a large percentage of us that don't have the relationships with our children that we think. And I was one of them. That's the reason why I got my things in order, so that I could make a difference. Because I have a tribe over here, and I'm responsible for my goddess, princess, queens, and I'm responsible for my king sons, my god king sons. You know what I'm saying? And I just, hey man, we gotta do what we gotta do.
Yes, sir. Always.
Okay, so moving on. Trust in a parent-child relationship. Why is trust considered the main foundation? One of the main foundations.
I just said it because tell me, if y'all didn't trust me, would y'all be here right now?
No.
Wouldn't y'all have, like the ones of you that are older than 18, wouldn't you have wanted to figure out some kind of way to get the hell away from here?
Yes, sir.
If I wasn't doing right, and I'm not saying it's not even if I wasn't doing right, because I know I've been doing right in one. Still, he didn't go at 18, but he was raring to go. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying it's all good because everybody sees things the way they do, and I understand the experience. I understand the experience. I overstand the experience.
Yes, sir.
The
Yes, sir.
experience for you, for me, I get it.
Yes,
I get
sir.
it. I've had enough thoughts about all of you all, and I just want to share with the world listening, whoever's watching, and whoever intends to watch, or if you do get a chance to watch. Okay, just think about. Thinking about one child, and if you have one child, double that. Okay, put a quad on that. You can put a sextuple on that. You know what I'm saying? Put a dozen on it. Man, my mind was really wrecked when I was involved in, when I was in Islam and praying and doing all that reading and thinking that I was dude, I was so stressed out attempting to figure out what's going to happen, having to have faith. And when I woke up and realized I don't need any faith. Faith is something that's, the start of a knowing. You have faith in what you see in terms of what you think you believe. For me, when I believe it, like people say, it's no longer a belief for me, it's a knowing, because I believed a lot of things for years. I was following certain things for 20 plus years. Never missed Ramadan, can't say I missed any days of prayer, like 5 times a day on point. I'm talking about we missed for nothing, and dead serious about the family, the children, everybody being up and on point. Like, wouldn't even have no excuses for little babies crying because they tired and didn't want to get up before daybreak to pray. And I'm like, nah, come on, this is what you're required to do. Man, that's kind of torture to your family when I looked at it overall. Now, we're supposed to be figuring out a way to, find our connection to the source, but it's not submitting in a way where we're physically putting ourselves out for something that is outside of us, when all the prayer that could potentially be done has to be done to the divinity that is within you if you really want to get something accomplished. So now we don't pray in that sense. We meditate, and the prayer is a part of it. We pray to the divinity that is within us, that is the source energy that is within all of us. So it's no outside of us, and we're just in the oneness of that. And that's what I'm sharing with them. And I said that before when I was saying as far as religion. And I want to clear some stuff up too about religion. And I said, no, religion to me is not the proper way, only because I did it for so many years, and I realized if I had done something else, I would be further ahead faster. But I had to do that in order to be here to share the example. And on top of that, do not hesitate to read the Bible. Do not hesitate to read the Holy Quran, just so you can have your balance and checks and balances for those who think they understand it. And you can pretty much explain your part or what you know is not. And then you can, if you read it, then you can find out what's factual and what's not. Because there's so much information now that proves what is factual and what is not. And because of that, it's not even no need to really waste your time with trying to read it for the benefit of understanding, but more so the benefit of like sharing information and understanding information that someone shares with you, not maybe you attempting to follow it as a belief system. And if that fits you as a belief system, then maybe your calling. So I don't have a disrespect to that. It's just that I'm grateful and I'm humbled by knowing that we are. It's a different space for that.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So next question. To you, in your own words, what would you say it means for a child to trust a parent?
In my own words, what does it say? What does it mean for a child to trust a parent?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's a question that's, what does it mean for a child to trust a parent? Well, it means it's important for the child to trust a parent, because I think if you don't trust me, or the child doesn't trust the parent, you're going to trust somebody, which is factual. And if somebody's got the influence on you that's not correct, then you're not getting the proper influence or nurturing from your parent, which I feel strongly about a 2-parent home, or if that's not possible, at least the parents being actively in the child's life, what I'm saying? That's very, very important. But it's just it's important for the child to trust the parents so they can be able to trust people in life. You can't trust your parents, then I'm sure you're gonna go out if I didn't trust my mom like the way I did, I wouldn't trust nobody going out. I had a trust issue with my father not doing what he said. So yeah, I had some trust issues, but it wasn't for my mom showing me the love on the other side, and then her family that were Christians really attempting to be the best that they could. Me seeing them, being good people, I realized that, it's all good. Like we're just here to do good things, attempt to be good people. You know what I mean, as best we can. But we are here. I command it. We are here. So
yes, sir.
What's next?
Okay. What does it mean to a parent to trust a child?
Well, like I told y'all before, I have to be able to trust you all, even when I don't want to, or I don't feel like y'all are trustworthy, because y'all know y'all do some stuff that's clearly not trustworthy. And then, and what is my motto now? I'm going to just share one of my parenting techniques as they've grown older. You see them do something, and you know it's something that needs to be disciplined, but it's not something that's so desperate that it's going to kill them if you don't say something to them. Well, I've learned, I used to say something, I used to basically be on their ass about everything, because I realized how life was on me. And then I just calmed down and realized how life is for all of us, and it doesn't happen to you, it happens for you, like it's your situation, they're attracting what they decide to receive. So I kind of like backed up. I see certain things, I see some things, I see them do something, I turn away. I literally like let them get away with it, so they think. And they won't even admit that they'll think that I didn't see them, and I will have. Let it go, maybe in 2 or 3 days, 4 days, maybe even a week. The same situation, but more magnified, comes back where they have to deal with it. So I don't have to like say anything, but I get to say something now. And as a result of me not interjecting from the beginning and trying to force feed it, I step back and I get to put in my words, and then they're more receptive to receive. You know what I'm saying? Because if I put it in, they bypass. Oh, they feel like they got away with something. Like, hey, don't do that. Okay, ooh, I got away with it, and they're gonna do it again. Or if they get away with it, they think, and then it gets more magnified, then they don't get away with it, period. See, and it's happened. It's just like how it works for me. I'm just sharing because in case your energy vibration is not where mine is and it doesn't work for you, I don't want you hitting me up like, yo, man, that didn't work. I was this, that, and nah. I'm telling you, it works for those of us who are sincere about the journey and the process of it.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Another question is actually pretty interesting. Why do teens today especially tend to have trust issues with their parents?
I got 3 teens and I got 4 teens and young adult, very, very close to 2 young adults, but a young adult on 2 young adults on the panel. I'm just going to go ahead and pick it over because it's less than 2 weeks away. We got 2 young adults and 2 teens, and you can speak from both perspectives. You guys can answer that question.
Yes, sir.
All right, so one at a time, answer the question, and you all let me hear, because I'm going to learn on this one. Why do teens feel as if their parents don't trust them? Yeah, let's go. Tell me that, because what's up? That's a good question.
Shoot. I know a lot of people that think that their parents don't trust them are the ones that pretty much have overprotective parents. Like you said, how you used to be on our backs about just about everything.
I wasn't on y'all back. Yeah, I was. I said I was. I really was, but not. Well, hey,
it wasn't like overwhelming.
Let me digress, because I just learned something. I'm thinking and I'm just giving it right. And they say, you know how you used to be on our back. Yeah, you're right. Okay, go ahead. Let's go.
But like I said, because I know you pretty much let us have our own head. You pretty much, after the fact, let us start having our own experiences. Like in dealing with them on our own, just letting us feel it instead of having to tell us what would happen if this or if that.
Yeah, because let me interject just right quick, because I don't see where it's necessary for you to go through your situation and me to go through it with you as well. Like I go through it when I interject, I go through it with you because I have to have these emotions and stuff like that. When I don't, I don't. And then when it comes back up, I really don't. I get the opportunity to be a friend and a parent because you have to come to me at this point. You feel me?
Yes.
That's what happens. Y'all end up having to come to me at that point. And I get to be the parent. And that's really like something strong, because a lot of us out here, we'll see y'all about to crash, burn, and flip the vehicle over with the tires gonna be flat when it get flipped back over and everything. Like for real, we'll see that about to happen. But hey, I just learned that if I don't see where you're gonna crash into a brick wall where it's going to kill you, then I'm not gonna. I know when to interject. It's best to interject when you all, kind of really feel like you need my assistance, rather than me think that I need to tell you something. Rather than me think, tell you that you need my assistance. I'd rather you come to me needing my assistance and feeling that, rather than me coming to you telling you need my assistance. You feel me? So that's the reason why I feel like it's worked between us two. And I see all y'all are different, and because more y'all are fire signs and more y'all are, aggressive, just in the sense of being from 2 fire signs. And I see how y'all respond to things. Y'all respond like me. The minute the octave goes up, or the minute you're saying something that I'm not trying to hear, out the window with you. You know what I'm saying? So I know that's, if I was like that, I know you all could be like that with me as well. And I don't want to lose track of the connection.
Yes, of course.
I could never bring myself to be like that toward you, though.
Yeah, maybe that's a fact.
Well, I'm grateful because I don't do things for you to look at it like that. You know what I'm saying? If I was a parent out here being an ass, all of us are not perfect. I've done some things before I got conscious that I know I looked at like I was wrong as a parent. I shouldn't have did that. You know what I'm saying? I looked at it like that. So even if you all were loving me, caring for me, and didn't feel like that, believe me, the feeling that I have, the remorse that I have in my heart sometimes when I have to say something to y'all, and it be y'all that I have to say something to as a result, but it still make me feel some kind of way because I turn up and I'm doing something. Y'all bring it right when I'm in the middle of something, and I gotta deal with it, and I turn up and I realize after the fact I didn't have to go there like that, and that stays in my heart because I think about how my mom was, and she was very serious, but she had to be. And I don't give her no excuses but she had to be, because I was like hell on wheels. I was making her work for it, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
She told me not to do something, I'm gonna make sure I did it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Just not in front of her, of course, because she could fight.
That's just what a lot of teens do in general.
Yeah.
They hear their parents tell them, don't do this, don't do that, and don't do that, and then it gives them, basically makes them want to do it even more.
Yeah, that's the vibe. That's the vibe. You tell me where. That's a human being in general. You're not gonna tell a grown up not to do something, especially, man. You see people get into fights, road rage, just because they told them you couldn't go in front of them. Oh, you're not gonna let me pull out? They jump out the car and go throwing fisticuffs. You know what I'm saying? All kind of stuff. Like, you just gotta be mindful.
Yes,
but all is well. What's the next question?
What can be done to restore the trust on both ends of a parent-child relationship?
The mirror. Parents, men especially. Do this mirror exercise, man, on this mirror meditation. Even if you don't meditate, go take some time and trance yourself in the mirror, man. Really go in the mirror and look at yourself and ask yourself some real deep questions. Ask yourself questions that don't have to do with stuff that you would ask yourself. You know what I'm saying? No, seriously, so you can see how you look when you respond. Like, you know what I'm saying? And you can feel the energy from the response that when you think about it, you would have to answer, like, and take it serious, as if you're meeting another version of yourself that's in a better place than you are, which it is, because it's the higher version of yourself within inside of you that you're speaking to. So when you do that, you're going to pull out the resources from that energy that is within the higher space of where you're, vibing at, just not at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And then when you get to that, you pull that vibe up, and you'll be surprised at what comes out as a result of you being honest with yourself.
Yes,
You know what I'm
sir.
saying?
Yes,
And you can lie to yourself a couple of times. You're going to be thinking about that mirror all day. And you're going to need to get back to it, because you're going to feel like, if you're really serious about changing your life or anything in your life, and you go to the mirror and you have a situation where you're dishonest, you go away from it and you don't, and you feel some kind of way and you don't go back to it, you could have some kind of situation to change your perspective physically. You know what I'm saying? Because when it gets to a point spiritually and you get the opportunity to change things, then it seems like the universe starts to deal with you on a physical point, like either your health or some of your material things, or one of your, somebody close to you, some kind of situation outside of you. Since you're looking outside of you for the answer, it gives you more pain on the outside. You know what I'm saying? So think about that. I'm just saying, because you can kind of reference some things. You don't even have to take my word for it. Put some things together. Think about things that have happened in your past, or even that's happening now, and see how they relate. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
And that's to y'all too. I'm talking to this panel right here. Like, I challenge y'all every day to do something.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
And from the end of from the child's perspective, just being in the mirror really does work, because your parents is not always your parents. Being a certain type of way, especially if you're a certain type of way. If you were never the type to hear anything in the first place, what they say, of course, is going to offend you. And I'm saying from experience, because when I started doing my mirror meditations, especially earlier this year when I needed them the most, is when I had changed my perspective on how I was being told things. It's like it doesn't affect me in any other way but me knowing that it's to assist. And then the more assistance you get, the less you're gonna need, and time on you're gonna be able to assist each other.
Yeah, really. And focus more on the intention behind words rather than just the words themselves. Because you can be thinking all day about one thing that your parents said that quote-unquote offended you. But if it's something that, if there's a pure intention behind it, like they just want to assist you, they just want to make sure that you don't get yourself into something that you probably can't get yourself out of, or something that they probably can't get you out of because you can't get yourself out of that position. Just pay attention to the intention that they have behind everything that they say and everything that they do. Because it's that really matters. because I know usually the intention goes much further than the word does. You can only say things in but so many ways, but the intention goes so far beyond that. So just focus on that part of it, the intention.
You know, if it offends you, maybe it's actually the truth. Because you don't,
Yeah.
you really tend to get offended by the truth more than anything.
Yeah.
Because you know it's true, you don't want to hear it.
You don't
get
want to
mad,
accept
but
it.
then deep within, you know good well that they're feeling that. What they're saying is right, and I know it. That feeling keeps lurking. You think you can just get rid of it, but nope.
It'll stay there until you're willing to just accept it for what it really is.
You're responsible for you no matter what. No matter what comes your way, it's always a result of your own doing. You can't blame anybody else for that.
And you can keep yourself out of a lot more things if you just understand who you are as an individual in general. Because if you don't understand yourself, you can't really understand anybody else. You can't really trust anybody else if you don't trust yourself. You end up going out getting yourself into a lot of things that could have easily been avoided.
I heard Lisa Nichols say this quote, protect your future self. When it comes down to our parents' words especially, they have a strong intention behind their words. They're trying to protect your future self, because just as she was stating about going out the house and getting yourself into something that could have been avoided, that's what their words were for. Because they foresaw this event happening. That's exactly why in every single situation after you've been told that you decided not to listen to, you always thought about them first, because you knew in yourself when you first heard it that it was something you needed to hear. You just weren't trying to accept that in that moment, because you weren't willing to be patient with yourself enough to be able to slow down and see it for what it is.
And not only that, just being clouded by your ego. You're clouded by your ego. You can't really accept too much of anything. You can't receive too much of anything. Because it's always your ego trying to shoot everything else down, because it's your ego telling you that you're right about everything.
We all know that's definitely not the case.
Yeah, no, you're definitely right about that, because a lot of children especially, they're not realizing that, the experiences that their parents got, as well as just like, society as well, like the internet and people outside the house is so much more influencing than your own parent, because of the, small disagreement with your parent, you got a small, feeling about your parents, it can easily make a big deal on the side of another thing, because your relationship with your parents and your life outside are two completely different things. And when your relationship with your parents isn't correct and you're outside and you don't have no brick wall to the influence, so you automatically are influenced by everything that comes in. Next thing you know, you're dealing with some extra stuff, and you're so deep in to the point where you're not going to listen to what your parents tell you no more. You're just in an even worse place.
Mm-hmm. Don't put yourself there.
Yeah, that right there, that would depend on what kind of person you are. Because if you're that kind of person that would go that route, of course you would go that route for yourself. But not everybody would be willing to take that kind of route, because some people actually know that they know themselves enough to be able to sit and patiently know their parents. They're patient enough with themselves to be able to sit there and be patient with their parents. They understand and understand and overstand themselves to be able to sit there and understand, overstand, and understand their parents and the intention that they have set behind their words.
Yeah, definitely. So don't be mad at them. Don't take anything that they say or do personally, because they're not perfect, and honestly, you aren't either. So
yeah, parents, be patient.
So how in the world do you have space to try to criticize your parent, expecting them to be this image that you have in your head when you're obviously not perfect yourself?
Yeah, parents, be patient with them being patient with us. You know what I'm saying? Be patient with them while they learn how to be patient with us. You know what I'm saying? Because thinking about the influences that they have, and this is just me sharing. I thought about the influences that they have outside of me, and I can compete, or either I can get beside them and they can choose, you know what I'm saying, who they want to be influenced by. And that's going to be up to me. That's going to be up to how I present myself, how I, present information, how I share love, how I respond, how I listen, if I show them I trust them, if they believe I trust them. You know what I'm saying? They really believe that I trust them. Because you could say it all day, I trust you, but be home by this time. If you trust them and they know what time they're supposed to be home, you don't have to tell them. You know what I'm saying? They can verify. It's a process of communication. I want to say something one time. One time, that's it, because we communicate. You hear what you want to hear. You know what I'm saying? So one time should be enough if I'm saying it clear enough. So I said one time, by that time we're pretty clear on it. We don't have any, fallouts or, issues as a result, because we have an understanding that, like, we're going to communicate. Same thing with them. They said to me one time, but if I'm busy, super busy or something, I told them, hey, say something back to me. Make sure you remind me after a certain amount of time, say something to me. Like, remind me that I'm supposed to come to the table about something, or you have something you want to talk to me about. And communication, just make sure you keep that communication line open.
Definitely. Okay, so now respect in a parent-child relationship. Okay, in your own, well, not necessarily what it could be in your words. What does real respect look like in a parent-child relationship?
What does real respect look like?
Other than what we have together.
That's what I can say, is what we have. People don't see what we have, so let me try to explain. It looks like a parent having a knowing that what they are doing is going to be more influencing that than what their children have access to. Especially when the children have access to everything that the parent has access to.
Yes.
You feel me? So,
Yes, sir.
yeah. So just that real respect is the fact that I know you know, that I know you know, that I know you know, that I know what you know, and you know what I know. You have access to it, but the experience is different. You could have access to certain things, but if you didn't experience, you didn't experience that thing, you still need me. And if I didn't experience, I can have access to it, but if I didn't experience it, I still need you. I'm gonna give y'all examples. Y'all know I'm on the computer because I taught y'all, but now I have to what? Come to y'all because y'all be like, yo, you doing it the dinosaur way. You doing it like you doing it like you from the 1900s. So let us show you how to do it in the 2000s. You know what I'm saying? The 20th century or 21st century, whatever the hell this is. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But I'm just saying, that's because you know what I'm saying. I'm coming over to you, and everybody, hey daddy, you know you can do it like this. And it's 10 steps faster than I do it. Even though I know how to do it fluidly, I know how to do it how the program said. Y'all seem to all come with a hack. Can I get a witness to anybody that when you could even, if I'm not live, you could put it in the chat later. Yeah, children these days come with hack abilities.
especially in terms of technology.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all, everything about what y'all do is about a hack. I'm just saying, like y'all learn how to work stuff and y'all learn how to hack it at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
I mean, 'cause y'all learn shortcuts to everything. We ain't had no chance to do shortcuts. They made it seem like we were supposed to do A to B to Z to Z to A to Z. We had to. Everything is not. Now, in certain perspectives of life, yeah, that's true. But certain things, nah. It's bigger than knowing how to do it. If you know somebody now, you don't even have to know how to do it. You just need to know somebody that knows how to do it.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what's up?
Okay. Why is respect in a parent-child relationship so important?
Same as trust. Same exact as trust.
It being the foundation.
Because if you don't have respect for me, you're going to end up doing something to make me not trust you, or to prove to me that it's not going to look any different if you don't respect me. It's going to prove to me you don't trust me if you don't respect me, because it kind of goes hand in hand for me. And that's the field talking. That's just life for me.
Yes,
Yes,
You know what I'm
sir.
saying? That's just life for me. That's in real life. Respect and trust go kind of hand in hand. Like if you don't trust a person, you probably don't respect them. Because to me, in order to trust a person, you have to respect them. That's just to me. And that might not be a rule of thumb to some of these cats out here, because some people got different kind of rules. But the rule of thumb for me is trust and they go together. Like, trust and respect, they go together. So
Yes,
it's the most important thing to have respect for yourself again, just like it is to have a good relationship with yourself. It all starts from inside. You want to be a good father, you want to be a good man, son, husband, friend, brothers, whatever, sister, queen, wife, mother, whatever. then it starts with inside. Quit bowing down to the earth, trying to get what's outside of outside of you, and expect something to jump into your lap. You're casting spells when you're praying anyway. Like, respectfully, don't want to get out deep like that, but praying is casting spells, and if you don't know the vibration or how to intend those spells when you send them, you're putting yourself in a even worse position spiritually in the universe. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's just something that I learned over time, like, from my own experience. And maybe it don't apply to you, but I know it applies to the universal law, so it is what it is. But one thing is facts is prayers are casting spells, because your intention with a prayer is to get God, the universe, Jesus, whoever you're praying to, Muhammad, whoever you're praying to, whoever you think that it is just helping you get your prayers through, you're asking them to do what magic does, to change this, to fix that, to allow you, to make you, to all that. So it's merely a spell you're casting. You know what I'm saying? So when you get back to the understanding of who you are, you realize that everything was snatched from that in the first place. So just get back to you can intend rather than attempt to cast, and you'll be receiving way more. Line up, connect, and you already just the vibration is already there. The minute you say it, you get it. It just may not come in physical aspect, but in physical, in vibrational escrow, there it lays.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And the minute you line up to it vibrationally, physically, it will show up for you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so why should parents earn respect from their children rather than demand it?
Because you demand it, they're going to never have respect for you. And you're going to see it later on in life when they do certain things. And you'll see it while you're trying to so-called demand it. You'll be feeling the fake ego feeling that you get when somebody's doing something you tell them to do, and they're saying the whole time they're effing you and calling you all kind of names up under their breath. But you're thinking that because they're doing it, yeah, you better. But to me, the emotional energy and the feeling that's under that is way worse than me accomplishing, getting them to do something. Now I understand that, because the feeling is different. Me knowing how I used to feel, my mom used to say certain things, and I'm an only child. My mom used to get drastic sometimes when she was in her moment of stress and feeling all pissed off about my father not doing what he was supposed to. So that shit came down on me. So when it came down on me, I used to be in I could tell when the energy was different, when she was blaming stuff on me and treating me some kind of way as a result of him not being there and things of that nature. And I know only children feel that. Females and males alike. You feel that. You know what I'm saying? That's just what happens when you're a parent. One is not there. And sometimes it happens when they're there because they piss with the parent. They want to take it out on the child because they know the child is close to the parent, which is all bull crap. You know what I'm saying? That's some stuff that you shouldn't be playing with. But, it's just, you got to earn it because they're human beings, And once you earn it, when you earn something, it's yours. Like, it's yours to keep. If they violated you, you still earn their respect. They didn't, what I'm saying? Same thing with them though. They gotta earn yours. You try to force it on them, but think about it. A forced respect is not earned. You get them, you telling them to respect you, and they respect you in their face, but as soon as you hear your cousin or your sister or your relative say, or your family member say something about your child, told me this about you, or somebody else say something that you be like, I never thought my child would say that. But then you gotta think about that. You gotta think about, did you earn the respect? You know what I'm saying? Did you earn the respect for them not to feel that way about you? Because it's just because you're their parent don't mean, matter of fact, your responsibility got real deep. You got to allow that person to be. Once you teach them to be conscious and understand, you got to allow that person to be. You got to be in your space. You got to understand that you don't own nothing. You have no ownership to nothing. So what your responsibility is to make sure you do what you're supposed to in the sense of blessing them with life, the power and spirit, and the power and energy of understanding that they are the ones that's making this thing happen, like it or not. Bad attitude or good attitude, you're going to get what you got, what you put out. So you got to earn it. You have to earn it. Yeah, it's important because you will never, ever get it if you try to demand it. Think about it. Is there anybody in your life that really made you do something? And if they did, think about it. Did they really make you, or did you really want to do it? And they just influenced you? Okay. Okay, so that's what it is.
Yes, sir. How can we influence our children to show respect?
Show respect. That's
Definitely
easy.
doing
Just show respect, and show respect to others too. Like not just to your children, show respect to people that they see you interact with. Because they're gonna model your activities, they're gonna model your actions and your attitudes and behaviors and things of that nature. They're gonna model it. I got a lot of little clones around here, and I saw a bunch of assness going on when I was in the ass mode a lot. And I was like, oh, I got it, man. I cannot. How am I gonna live with somebody like that? I can't barely live with me. And then here I created a clone that's got to come up. We got many more years, so they magnified with it. And if I'm still doing the same thing, there's no way in hell I'm gonna be able to tell them not to do it. Especially when I was raised in a house with a female who told me, don't do what she say, don't do what she do what she say. You know what I'm saying? I knew how that made me feel. And I'm looking at times now, I ain't gonna tell them nothing that they better not do. I tell them, if you wanna do this, if you wanna do that, come do it with me, man. If you wanna try this, try that, come try it with me, man. Let me at least be present, because if something happened to you, at least I know what to do to assist you. You wanna try some kind of drug, I'm not gonna, down you. I wouldn't wanna give you no crack or no fucking meth or no nothing like that, but if you tell me you're gonna do it anyway, I mean, I would wanna be present, you know what I'm saying? Because I would want something to happen to you, because if you're with the wrong person, I say this to all children, if you go to your parent, if you have the urge to do something, even if you know your parent ain't that type of person, go to them and tell them, hey, I was feeling I'm peer pressured and I really wanted to come to you because I want to do this, I really want to try this, so what, can you help me out? And if they rebel with you and stuff, then that's your opportunity to willfully go inside your heart and talk to them and tell them from your heart, because this is what I mean, I want to have a good relationship with you. Something as big as you going to them saying, please let me do something that I could do behind your back and you wouldn't know anyway, is like the parents should be like very grateful that you chose to trust them. And they should really double back and figure out how to approach that in a different way. That is not an issue that is negative. That would be one of the most positive things ever, especially if you never told your child that and they just took it upon themselves. I cut through the chase because my father told me from day one when I was 7, he saw me sniffing the weed, he saw me sniffing the ashtray, like when there was the weed, he saw me every time they light a joint, I'd go sit up under him and say, hey man, listen, I already see you like this, so if you ever want to try this, why don't you go try this with one of your friends. I see you seeing me drinking, you want to try this, you see me doing anything you see me doing, you come and talk to me and I'll let you do it with me. Don't you go try this with nobody, because if something happened to you, they'll leave you for dead somewhere. It took all the excitement, it took all the excitement out of me even thinking, okay, I'm going to go get with my homeboys and we're going to go drink something, we're going to smoke something. No, it wasn't no excitement in that I can go do that with my pops.
Best way
Other than a bunch of you little weak-ass young niggas that like now I can say they're gonna leave me out here for dead if something happened to me. You know what I'm saying? Because he spoke that truth to me. And I'm grateful, even though he wasn't there the whole time. He set such a strong foundation to start with. He put love on my heart. And then the man that my mom remarried, got to meet my father and they became cool. And he made sure that I respected him, even though I had these feelings about my father because my father wasn't around. But he was an older gentleman, and that man right there, bless everything about him. He was really a dear soul to me. He was one of the angels I had an agreement with, obviously. But he made me respect my father, and even when I got out of the penitentiary, it made me want to have a relationship with my father, and I got to know my father even more. Dude's a good dude. He is a good dude, man. He's a real good guy. So it even made me even want to be a better human being myself. You dig what I'm saying? Because, man, you find out the flaws you have and you realize they came from just you being in the energy field, and you find out some of the ways you thought your parents were because of you not really knowing but making assumptions, and you find out later on in life when it means the most that your parents was really something different, especially my father. It was important for me to find out at the time I did, because as a man, the type of man I am, especially, I needed to know, you know what I'm saying? So I'm grateful, but like I say, a lot of love and respect for my pops, who is in the house right now, 79 years old, still holding down with us. So I'm grateful, very, very grateful.
Definitely. But this is the last question, which I have definitely been enjoying the session so far.
Me too.
Yeah, gotten a whole lot of value from both ends, I know that.
54 minutes in, too. Of value. value, straight value.
Okay.
Well, I'm grateful. I will. This does, and like I said, it's not to get on here and just sit on here and just not talk about nothing. We have to have some subject matter and whatever opinion.
Yes, sir.
Excuse me. We can get deeper with everything, but that's the whole point of putting it up in the type form.
Yes, sir.
Type form, so that we can potentially get people to ask questions that that are deeper, that make me have to go inside my soul and answer. Because, like I said, I want to share.
Yes,
And
sir.
I know I got some stuff to share that could assist.
Yes,
I know it. It's like no question. I don't have a doubt about it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no question.
Everyone in there, Nasir had put the type form in the chat. So please do yourselves a blessing. Please do yourself a service.
Peace, Osama bin Laden. Peace, family. I see you showed up with us. That's all love. I appreciate you. Thank you for spending any time with us, man. Thank you for spending any time with us, King. We appreciate it to the fullest. And anybody else, if I didn't see if anybody showed up, and just for the future now, anybody that shows up, peace, love, and infinite, infinite, and eternal power be upon you, your whole bloodline, your whole energy field, your whole source, the whole spectrum of your existence. I appreciate the fact of being able to speak to anyone that will listen. I'm grateful to be here with the blessings, souls, and energies of my beautiful princess, goddess, my goddess princess, Queen Amina, as well as my king sons 1 through 4, King Rula, King Wise Flow, King Amir Spear, King McMahon. Y'all are King Malik, King, you know who y'all are, you know what I'm saying? I just want to thank you all for showing up, because I know I'm going to end up having to do these days on my own. And then Thought Processes is actually our forum. That's a whole different thing. That's not just me. That's host is Nasir and myself, but Ruler the Great and myself. But everybody be showing up on that at times, but that's who that primarily is. But the creative content on there is everyone that is involved in our family, just as well as the McCullers Group. But it is what it is.
Which you do have more value to provide through there, much sooner than later.
Yes,
And all
Yes, sir.
appreciate it in all ways. And as it is, I will that everyone who comes within the sound of my voice, I'm here to assist everyone that looks like me, everyone that can see me, and everyone that comes within the sound of my voice. I will that love, peace, and eternal power be upon you and your bloodline. Ashe.
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 And so it is.
And so it is.
Hotel.
Now
Hotel.
infinitely. Hotel.
Infinite.
Thank you all for this opportunity.
Thank y'all.
I can
much.
definitely speak for all of us when I say that we truly appreciate being able to spread so much value on here to all of you that you can utilize in your lives to improve your life and the lives of others.
Peace. Hotel.
Hotel.
Hotel.